Hey guys, welcome to a very exciting game of the Deep Blue versus Garry Kasparov. It's the Garry Kasparov saga, and this is game 3 played between Garry Kasparov and Deep Blue. Sorry about the voice, there's no issues, there's no echo as such, but I am a little under the weather and you might feel it, so sorry about that. Here the Deep Blue has white pieces and Garry Kasparov has the black pieces. Again, this is game 3. The first game was won by Deep Blue and the second game was won by Garry, both with the white pieces. And an interesting fact that I realized while I was researching about these games was a few years after this entire game series of games was played, it was revealed that the first game that Deep Blue won was due to a bug in the software, or in the glitch in the system. What happened was, at a particular move, it couldn't really select the move, which move to play, because it was confused. So it just picked one at the random, and that turned out to be the best move, and it was a software glitch that allowed Deep Blue to win. But once Garry realized he couldn't believe his luck, and he was like, why couldn't it pick a bad move? But anyways, he took it sportively and he said this is a definite a new era, and we will definitely see some nice computers in the future that will help everybody out. So he was pretty amazing about that. Let's just get into the game. We have e4 on the board, and this is Deep Blue with the white pieces. We have c5, and this is the Sicilian defense which Garry Kasparov chooses, and now c3, the Alpine variation, immediately not allowing the knight to come to this c3 square, but putting a pawn here and supporting this pawn, this d4 pawn in the center. We have d5, immediately attacking the center, nicely controlling the key squares on the center with these two pawns. And now e takes d5, queen takes d5, and d4. In this variation, a lot of times the queen will really come out pretty quickly, and white will use this opportunity to attack the queen, mainly by putting the knight here on a3. Then this bishop can go here on c4 and you attack this queen. Or if black decides to exchange off these pieces, then the knight can even come here to c3 and attack the queen. So usually the queen retreats to, if the bishop is developed, then it retreats to this d7 square. If not, it just goes back to d8 square, and from there it controls the game. We have knight to f6, a developing move, and now knight to f3. Bishop to g4, now pinning the knight, and immediately bishop to e2, unpinning the knight. We have e6, getting some, putting the pawn here and allowing this bishop to free up. So now once this capture happens, this bishop is free to capture here on c5. We have castles by white, knight to c6, and now bishop to e3, a developing move. C takes d4, finally relieving the tension in the center, and now c takes d4. Bishop to b4, keeping the control of this nice diagonal, not allowing this rook to come to e1 and control this e file. Now we have a3, pushing the bishop away, and simply bishop to a5, retreating. And now it's not really a good idea to put your pawn here on b4, as it might weaken this a3 pawn, and you don't really want that to happen so soon in the game. Plus, you will have a lot of attacks on this. That was not played in the game. You will have a lot of attacks on this b pawn by the knight. The second knight can come here and attack this pawn, so you don't want it to be a weakness. And now knight to c3. A nice developing move, putting the knight in between this bishop's attack to this e file. And now once the bishop captures this knight, this pawn will come here to the c file, and it can nicely support this d pawn. We have queen to d6, because the queen was also attacked, so you push the queen back, and now knight to e5. putting some pressure on this knight as well. We have bishop takes e2, relieving the light squares, and now queen takes e2. Bishop takes c3, and by this, black becomes, or Garry becomes a knight capturer because he captured a knight. And now b takes c3. Knight takes e5, and not immediately capturing the knight, but bishop to f4, pinning the knight. And now not really allowing this pin to continue. Knight to f3 with a check. Now you have to capture it with the queen, if not your piece is going to fall here, your bishop is going to fall. So queen takes f3, now white becomes a knight capturer, and simply queen to d5, not allowing this queen to keep some tension going on this b7 pawn. So we have queen to d3, not allowing any trades off of the queen yet, and we have rook to c8. Now we get rook f to c1 and queen to c4. Queen takes c4, rook takes c4, and rook c to b1. We have now entered into the endgame with both the players having 2 rooks each. We have a bishop against a knight. And b6 was simply played, defending the pawn since it was attacked by white. You don't really want white rooks to enter into the 7th rank, so it's better to defend. And now simply bishop to b8, attacking this pawn. Rook to a4, defending, and rook to b4. Now simply asking to trade off the rooks, but declining the trade, Garry moves the rook to a5. You have rook to c4, and now finally castles by black, because in this position you had the threat of rook giving a check. You have to move the king, and then the rook will be attacked and it will be captured. So you don't really want that, so castles. You have bishop to d6, and now rook to a8, simply defending this pawn. Now you are free to move this rook wherever you want. And simply rook to c6, keeping a support to this bishop here on d6, and also not allowing this pawn to be pushed anytime soon, since your pawn on b6 will be hanging. We have b5 instead, and now king to f1, rook to a4, and now rook to b1, a6, now defending this pawn, and king to e2. Both players don't really have, or rather Garry is a player, that's the Deep Blue is a computer. They don't really have much of an option because both cannot really make any progress, and this is moving towards a draw. We have h5, and now king to d3, rook to d8, attacking this bishop, but you don't really have to move it since you are nicely defended. Still, bishop to e7, now you are attacking the rook and you are attacking the knight. Rook to d7, attacking the bishop, so you can either move it back or you have to capture, so you simply capture. Bishop takes f6, g takes f6, and now rook to b3. We have king to g7 and king to e3, e5, now g3. We have e takes d4 with a check, c takes d4, and simply rook to e7 with a check, king to f3, rook to d7, again attacking the pawn. Now we have rook to d3, defending both the pawns. Now everything is defended for white. These pawns are defended, and for black, these pawns are defended nicely. You have 2 rooks against 2 rooks, 5 pawns against 5 pawns. It's completely draw game. Rook a takes d4, since you are attacking this pawn twice, and rook takes d4, rook takes d4, and now rook takes a6. Again, the material is completely equal. And now we have b4. In this position, it was completely drawn. So both the players, the player and the operator of the Deep Blue, they both decided to draw the game by agreement, and it was an agreed draw. The Deep Blue team actually declined a draw by Garry in one of the previous moves, but it's not clear on which move they actually declined the draw. But nonetheless, it was in this position, move 39. Both of them decided that there is no progress to be made, and they decided to draw the game. I can show you a couple of moves that can be played. It takes first you move the king to e3, rook to c4. Now simply a takes b4, rook takes b4, and now rook to d6, king to g6, h4, stopping king from moving any closer, and now rook to b3, king to e4, rook to b4 check, king to e3, rook to b3 check, king to e4, rook to b4, king to e3, and rook to b3 check. A draw by 3-4 repetition. There is nothing either side can do in this position. So a wonderful game, game 3, comes to an end with a draw, and the points are 1.5 each. Remember, the first game was won by Deep Blue, second game was won by Garry Kasparov, and the third one was a draw. I'm going to put the link in the description as well as on the top of the video for you guys to watch these. So please watch it if you have some time. And I would like to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate your support. You are the reason why I keep making so many videos, so thank you very much. And that's all from the game today. Namaste. See you next time.